don't know. This is my very first time doing a live straight out of my phone. So, welcome to this live, guys. I'm assuming that I am live and that you can hear me. I'm just going to check here on the computer. It is not showing live here. Okay, I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that we are live. So today is the big day. Today is December 10th, and it is the official launch of my book, Life of Mine. And it was supposed to be available on Amazon as we speak. However, I ran into a little bit of a problem. I didn't know that there are some steps that Amazon had to do after you hit the button publish. So when I did that last night at midnight, just to be available on December 10th, it told me that it still had to go through some approvals and that it could take up to 72 hours. And I was not aware of that at all. So my book is not available on Amazon yet, even though today is the official launch day. I'm just pausing here a little bit because I'm trying to see if this is showing live. It says I am live here, but I'm not sure if I am. Anyways, I'm just gonna carry on, and if I have to redo this, I'll redo this. Like I said, this is my very first time doing a live, just straight out of my phone. I thought it would make my life easier, but maybe I am making my life more complicated. Anyways, welcome guys. If you're new to this live, I'm Daniela. I am the creator behind Through the Looking Glass, and this channel is all about my life, my journey with several chronic illnesses. And in the last year, specifically more in the last 6 months, I've been writing. I've been writing a lot about my experience with chronic pain, with grief, with basically acceptance of this new person that I am now and the limitations that my body give me. And I wrote a book about it. It turned out to be more of a poetry, reflection, short stories book. The whole idea of writing this book actually came from you guys, from my audience. I started to play with a bit more creative video format, a little bit more of a storytelling, voiceovers, more cinematic filmmaking, because that is something that I enjoy a lot, and it's just feeds my creativity. And a lot of you started to comment and saying, you should publish a book, you should write a book. Like, I love the things that you're saying. And so I started writing down little things here and there, never really thinking that it would turn into a book, but I'm like, I'm just gonna write it down, might as well be registered somewhere. So no pressure at all. But then over time, I started to see that it was becoming something. I felt I had enough entries on my little notes on my computer that maybe I could start putting into a book format. And so when I decided that I was actually going to make a book, that's when the challenge started, because now I had made a commitment and I really had to sit with all the feelings, with the pain, with the frustration, with all the uncomfortableness of chronic illness, the fear, and I really had to feel all those feelings in order to be able to express myself on the page. And at times it was quite challenging and also very healing, because when you let yourself feel all the emotions, it helps you process it. And I think that's what this book did for me. It allowed me to process all those feelings. And it has also created a source of inspiration for myself as well. I often, when I'm at my lowest and I feel discouraged and I feel like giving up, I'll just open a page and I'll read it. I'll read my own words and I'll cheer myself with my own words. And yeah, so that has been a little bit of the story behind writing this book. It was 100% from encouragement of you guys. I have some questions here on my computer, so don't mind me looking there. So that was the inspiration behind the book. So the challenges of balancing writing and publishing process with chronic illness. So like I said, at the beginning, there was no pressure. At the beginning, it was very laid back. It was just really a way for me to write down my thoughts. But then when I decided that I was going to make a book out of it, it did add a little bit of pressure. And especially once I started announcing and sharing with the world that I was writing a book, it did add a little bit of stress, I'm not gonna lie. Specifically the last month when I had deadlines and I asked my brother to do the illustrations for the book. And there are so many proofreading sessions that we had to do. Several people proofread it, and then every time little changes had to be made. And the whole learning curve of publishing a book was a little bit stressful because I don't know anybody who's ever published a book. I never done it before, so I had to research everything. And I didn't find there was a one stop for all the information. There were bits of information all over the internet. And so I had to watch so many videos and read so many guidelines. Amazon does give a pretty good outline of what you need to follow, like how you have to format the book and illustrations, sizing, how to submit and everything. But it is a learning curve. And it was a little bit stressful when I was trying to upload things and then Amazon would get back and say this formatting is wrong. I did everything myself. I didn't outsource or hire anything at all except the illustrations that my brother did. And so there was a lot of mistakes made and a big learning curve. And now the last couple of weeks, starting a social media campaign, getting the world to know that I have written a book and just get it out there, that was pretty intense. That was pretty intense because it is an intense time of the year. It's close to Christmas. I ended up flying to Holland to meet with my brother, so I had a big international trip in the middle of all that, which for anyone who has chronic illness, you know how triggering that can be for flares. So of course, when I came back, I was like in a big flare, which got exacerbated by the stress and the deadlines. But we are here. Not everything worked out as I had expected because the book was supposed to be available today and it's not. But it is coming. Just keep checking Amazon. It will be any day now. I'll definitely make a post, maybe a small short video saying that, it's available now as soon as I hear from Amazon. But those are things that are outside of my control. Like I said, I've never done this before. It's a big learning curve. And now I know that Amazon, when they say click this button to publish your book now, it does not mean now. So anyways, okay, let's see what the next question. Tips for anyone dreaming of publishing their own book. Well, just do it. Just do it, because this was so healing for me. It was so empowering, and it really fed my creative soul. And the way you can self-publish on Amazon makes it very accessible for people, so that the only thing you need to give is your time to write the book. You don't need to hire anybody. You can do everything yourself. And the information is out there. You can get all this information. It's just not neatly packaged in one place, but you can find all the information there. So if you think you have something to share with the world, if you think that someone would benefit from hearing your story, I would say do it. Share. You'd be surprised how powerful sharing your story can be, not only for yourself, for your own healing, but also to others who get empowered by your story. And then I had one of the subscribers ask for, put a question on the community post that I did. And the question is, what was the most surprising thing you learned while writing this book? Believe it or not, what I learned is that I can do it, because I never thought I would be able to write a book. So many people have told me you should write a book, even about my life story, which is crazy. So many people have said you should write a book, and I've always had this huge wall, I'm not a writer. English is not even my first language. I don't even speak English properly most of the time. How on earth am I going to write a book? So I never thought it would be possible. And I did it. And many people who have read it said it's good. So I think that was my biggest learning curve. And, what I learned is that if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Sometimes we are the barriers. I was telling myself, I can't write a book, I'm not a writer. And while I had this label and I kept telling myself, I can't do this, I'm not a writer, I don't know how to write, of course I wasn't going to do it, because I was telling myself I couldn't. So that was the biggest lesson for me, is that if I set my mind to it, I can do it. And as far as doing something like this and having chronic illness, I think my biggest advice is to just take your time, to not have a deadline, to not have, I have to get this done by this date, because we all know that that does not work with chronic illness. And yeah, just take your time, do it when you can. And actually, I think writing was really, really good for me, because a lot of my writing I did when I was during flares. And I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't get out of bed. But I could lay in bed with my laptop and think about those feelings. Like I said, sit with those feelings and discover what they meant to me and what I learned from them. But then also I would go back after, when I was feeling better, and try to put a little bit of positive spin and a little bit of inspiration, and what sort of got me out of that, dark spot that I was. So this is a very real, very honest book. A lot of it was written in the midst of flares. And it has different sections. So I divided the book. It starts with the silent battle, and we all know what that battle is. Then I go into the daily struggle. We also know what that's all about. But then we start to go into embracing the journey, finding light in darkness, then finding the garden within. And then I wrap up the book with seasons of life. So there's those different sections, and each section has a collection of poems, reflections, and short stories. And I'm so excited for you guys to get your hands on a copy, and I am dying to know what you think of it. And yeah, I'm just super, super excited. Okay, I have been talking here for 15 minutes, and honestly, I don't even know if this is live. I do not see it here at all, and I don't see anybody logged in. I don't see any comments. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, one more thing that I was going to talk to you guys about is merch. So I don't know if you're seeing this the opposite, but it says, "Pacing myself in a rushed world." So this is one of the illustrations from the book that my brother did. And so I selected a few of the drawings from the book, like my favorite ones, and I paired with some nice, cute, inspirational quote. And I have made t-shirts, and that is now available on my YouTube store. And some people have told me that they can't find it. I can't see it on a desktop, so I don't think you can see it on a desktop or a TV, but it shows right underneath the video if you are looking through a phone or an iPad. So let me know if you are still having issues. I'll bring this up again on another video, and we'll see if you guys are able to see it. It is such a nice way to complement the book and to support me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm just gonna wrap this up here because I think this live is a disaster. The last time I did a live, I could see all you guys there. I could see all the comments. This phone thing doesn't show me anything. Let me see. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I hope you guys were not just waiting for my live to pop up. Some of you are in the other side of the world and it's like 11 p.m. and I hope you didn't stay up for this because I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I will try to figure out and see how I can get that available to you, even if it wasn't live, if I can at least get it like listed as a video so you guys can watch that back. Anyways, sorry about this big confusion with the launch day and trying to get this live done. Obviously, as you can tell, I don't know what I'm doing, but I am figuring out as I go, just as I am with my illnesses in my life. Anyways, guys, if you were here for the live, thank you so much. I could not see that was anybody there. Like what I'm seeing on the screen here really does not show me anything. So I don't think I'm gonna be using my phone in the future. Anyways, bye guys.